Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney is off tonight. It has been nearly a month since Washington Governor Jay Inslee issued his stay-at-home order, and this leaves a lot of people to question, when can Washington safely reopen? Inslee's order is set to expire on May 4th, but he and other leaders have suggested it may be extended.
I think as we talk about reopening the community, reopening the state, reopening the country, it needs to be done very, very cautiously.
Spokane County Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz said this morning he is exercising caution about reopening the economy too early, as it could lead to another surge in cases. There are 17 coronavirus deaths among 313 cases in Spokane County. 59 people have been hospitalized in Spokane County to date, and 15 remain hospitalized. Under a prediction from the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, Washington State could consider easing social distancing guidelines the week of May 18th. The prediction assumes Washington stays on the same epidemic trajectory and keeps its current containment strategies in place, including testing, contact tracing, and mass gathering restrictions. According to the data, Washington State may have already seen the peak of the pandemic on April 6th. 42 people died from coronavirus that day. Since then, the state has seen a decline in coronavirus-related deaths, with the exception of a few spikes, including one on April 14th, when 25 people died. Spokane Public School students will finish up the school year with new virtual learning guidelines. The district hopes this will help students stay motivated and engaged while learning at home. KREM 2's Amanda Brody explains the district's learning expectations for elementary and secondary students.
Under Spokane Public Schools' virtual learning guidelines, the district is asking students to do the following: check their email for weekly plans, complete daily assignments, and attend live sessions hosted by teachers. District leaders say learning expectations vary by grade levels and course study. The first applies to the amount of time students spend working. The district recommends elementary students spend anywhere between 30 to 90 minutes a day on academic work, depending on their grade level. Teachers will determine time spent on daily enrichment activities, and there's also time allotted for weekly virtual sessions. As for secondary students, middle schoolers are asked to spend 20 minutes working on each class per day, and 30 minutes for high school students. Their teachers will also schedule a minimum of one live virtual session for each course every week. All students are advised to tune in to supplemental teaching sessions. This includes televised lessons through the district's partnership with KSPS. Parents and students will also have access to digital learning tools through the SPS website.
From our main webpage, we have a platform that's called Clever, and families can access that by on our main page clicking on digital tools. And if they click on Clever, it brings them to a platform that looks like this page that lays out all the digital resources that are available to students.
As for grading, the district says elementary teachers will grade assigned work. They can also modify grades based on accentuating circumstances students may be dealing with due to the school closure. The same goes for secondary students, but there are 3 options for how a grade will appear on their transcript: receive a pass or no credit, a traditional grade, or request a credit waiver from the school principal. Teachers will give input and work with counselors and administrators on the best option for each student. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
More than 750,000 Americans have now tested positive for coronavirus, and more than 40,000 have died. That's nearly double the number of deaths from a week ago. Today, more protests against the stay-at-home orders are scheduled in several communities all across the country, even as new virus hotspots are emerging. A new poll from the Pew Research Center finds that 66% of Americans say they fear social distancing measures ending too early, including a majority of both Democrats and Republicans. Restrictions on non-essential travel across the U.S., Canada, and U.S.-Mexico borders were extended for 30 days starting today. Meantime, the vice president told FEMA staffers he believes the country is getting through the coronavirus crisis, as lawmakers now optimistic on a deal to give additional money to a popular small business relief program 1 week after its funding ran out. As parts of the country hope to move toward a gradual reopening, some state governors are calling for federal help with testing supplies.
Testing is up to the states. I'd like the federal government to help on those supply chain issues.
Lawmakers are working on securing more funding for hospital and testing as part of the deal to replenish the Paycheck Protection Program. Negotiators say it could pass by the end of the week. Meanwhile, one major company, Shake Shack, announced it's giving back its $10 million loan from the program. Officials warn second quarter GDP numbers could be the lowest since the Great Depression, but they believe the economy will bounce back when the country reopens. Leaders in Congress talking about adding $310 billion to a loan program for small businesses. The Paycheck Protection Program gave out its initial $350 billion just over 2 weeks. It was designed to provide funding for small companies that have been affected by the coronavirus restrictions. Now many owners in the area say they're hopeful this next round of funding will pass.
We literally just paid off all of our loans for opening some of the restaurants, and now we're having to start from scratch, basically.
Adam Hegstead owns several restaurants around the Spokane area: Incrediburger, Yards Brunchin, Gilded Unicorn. Of their total 180 employees, he's had to lay off about 160 of them.
What we've done is just try to pare down operations somewhat to try and, at least be functioning as we are right now.
He says he applied for the first round of PPP funding last week.
We got the paper copy and we sent it in, but that was the day they ran out of money.
Since then, he's closed 2 of the restaurants to keep costs down. The others are open for takeout, but even that might not be enough. He says additional funding would help them essentially transition into reopening.
You don't know if they're going to be successful again. You're hopeful that they are, but you don't know how fast business is going to come back or how things are going to go exactly. It's all, not knowing is stressful, and nothing's guaranteed.
But even while Hegstead waits on the possibility of more funding, many businesses that received the first round say they're still not in the clear.
It's very generous, but it's a very cumbersome kind of thing.
John Waite owns Auntie's Bookstore and received the loan last week. For the loan to be forgiven, a business has to use at least 75% of it to rehire any laid-off employees. Because the bookstore is only open for mailing orders now,
We're going to be really heavy with our staff. We're going to have a lot of bodies.
So for both owners, managing employee costs with the decrease in business is the biggest concern.
We've laid off a lot of people, and we can't really expect to bring all those people back when there isn't the business to do that.
Now, Senate leaders are expected to meet again tomorrow for another round of discussions on additional funding. In Spokane, Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's take a pause from the headlines for a moment, talk about the weather, because today it almost felt like summer. We almost hit 70 degrees here in Spokane. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry, hanging out in short sleeves and shorts tonight. Tom?
We're taking it off today. By the way, I heard a new phrase this weekend, Mark. It was yesterday, and I think it went like this: I think I'm going to have to insist that you take a shower today.
Yes.
Look at my new friend over here.
Did someone say that to you, Tom?
Friend. Come on over here, sir. Thank you for doing this. And we're doing DoorDash again. I guess we can't shake hands, so, but I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. We got the DoorDash. That's the entire reason I'm out here on the front line, so I don't miss dinner coming, right? I think I'm going to have to insist that you take a shower.
Yes.
Here we go. 66 degrees. That is the current temperature here in Spokane. Wind is out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. As you can see, we talk about what we've got going on as far as cloud cover. We've got a few clouds that have rolled into the area. Oh, this is the pollen report. And again, right now, tree pollen is low, not showing any grass, weed, or mold spores at this particular time. Here's a look now at the clouds that have kind of blown up this afternoon, but we aren't seeing any rain out of that on your satellite and your radar picture. So we'll look for clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 43. Sunshine and breezy tomorrow with a daytime high of 68 degrees, mostly sunny skies. I'm always looking ahead to the weekend, gang. I've got 65 on Saturday with a chance of showers on Sunday, and we'll see a daytime high of 64 degrees. I got to tell you, Mark, this social distancing thing for me is very difficult because I feel like I need to shake. I'm a guy who shakes hands a lot.
Me too.
And so that was an awkward moment for me where I wasn't able to shake that gentleman's hand.
I know you almost.
That's just what we're doing.
You almost feel rude for not shaking people's hands, right?
Totally.
I know.
Absolutely.
I got you.
That's,
hey, quickly,
that's,
Tom, the people want to know what's for dinner.
Well, today we are doing, can I plug the restaurant? I'm going to plug it's a chain, but I'm plugging it. We're doing Panda. And
Okay.
so I got the Kung Pao chicken, spicy with peanuts.
Oh.
And we got the vegetable tray thing. And then you also got the mushrooms and chicken, right?
That
So
sounds
that's what we've got going on
fantastic.
on the door.
All right, well,
And
we'll
then we're going to serve, because, you know, apparently I got big along the way, I'll be eating that over steamed rice cauliflower instead of regular rice.
Yeah, that's a good move, Tom. Thank you very much. We'll check back in with you later in the show.
Thank you.
All right, the state's unemployment department says it can help more people now, but those who need help say they're still having a hard time. Drew Mickelson from our Seattle sister station found out why.
Back in early March, Mitzi Lawson was sitting pretty as a full-time massage therapist at a Gig Harbor salon and with her side job as a miniature horse trainer.
Yeah, I can't make my car insurance payment. I can't make my storage unit payment. They are putting a lien on me. They want to sell my stuff.
Now she's unemployed, like hundreds of thousands of Washingtonians. She and other private contractors or the self-employed, like barbers, for example, did not qualify for unemployment until this weekend, when the state updated its site to include new federal assistance for sole proprietors. But after the update, Lawson could not get into the system.
It just said website was down, cannot load, reload. And just anything and everything, it just was not going to connect up. And then when I did connect up, finally, it booted me off in just a couple minutes.
We know that it was not a great experience for a lot of people.
Employment Department Commissioner Susie Levine says while the state took in a record number of applications Sunday, the website was overwhelmed, shutting some applicants out.
Think about it like your front door to your house, and all of a sudden, the Seahawks front line comes in, their offensive line, all shoulder to shoulder. Now imagine the whole team coming in. This was the whole team coming in at once.
What are you telling people who have been waiting to get these expanded benefits and have to keep waiting?
So people should keep trying. I wouldn't encourage people to stop trying. They should keep trying, and they will eventually be able to get through, and that money will be there for them.
So I had thyroid cancer, and it was in my lymph nodes in my throat. So
Mitzi Lawson beat cancer, and she's confident she'll survive this. But without financial help or her salon opening soon, it'll be tough.
it gets to a point where, you know, you just kind of like, oh, I can't handle this. I just want to bury my head in a pillow and cry. But it's like, okay, suck it up and let's just, you know, soldier on.
Drew Mickelson, KREM 2 News.
Starting today, nearly 30,000 employees will return to Boeing factories across Washington. When employees return to the assembly lines next week, they'll see new and increased safety precautions. Boeing says shifts will be staggered so that everyone won't be arriving and leaving at the same times. Workers must wear masks, and for those who have to work in close proximity to others, additional safety equipment, they say, will be provided. Well, while many products have returned to the store shelves, toilet paper is the one that's still in short supply. Still ahead why Americans are not only buying out of panic, but they actually need more toilet paper. And this is pretty cool. This is video from Rogers High School's football field. The school painted the mascot on the field along with the names of all the seniors in the class of 2020. Very cool tribute. We'll be right back.